storms, we decode the show. Hidden Easter eggs, lines to know. Three friends laughing, munching snacks. Lois and Clark were always coming back. Ooh, dial it up like the modem screams. Superpowers and love on a silver screen. Blurry pixels, but the story's clear. Superman's back, and we're all here.
I'm Molly.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Jen.
And welcome to Folks Forever, a Lois and Clark Rewatch podcast.
We're three fans who've been loving LNC since 1993.
Each week we'll recap one episode and talk about at least one LNC related topic.
If you would like to learn more about who we are, how we became folks, and or how we became friends, check out our intro episode.
Today we're going to be discussing Season 1, Episode 19, Fly Hard. We'll also be talking about Cat Grant in the comics. Fly Hard first aired on March 27, 1994. Recently in cinemas that month, you had D2, The Mighty Ducks, Angie with Gina Davis, Guarding Tess, Monkey Trouble, The Paper with Michael Keaton, Lightning Jack, The Ref, Greedy with Michael J. Fox, Four Weddings and a Funeral, and Naked Gun 33 1/3, The Final Insult. I've never seen that one.
Nice.
But it's got a great title.
Awesome. I remember seeing Monkey Trouble. I saw that one. And Greedy.
Yeah, Greedy.
I think I saw Monkey Trouble, but I don't remember a darn thing about it. Was JTT in that? Was that a JTT movie? No. Okay, I sounds familiar. I have no idea where it's from.
Was it the girl from Hocus Pocus?
Oh, with the monkey.
Right? Is that what I think that's what Monkey Trouble is, right? It's been a while.
Right. I think I saw that in the theaters.
Every LNC episode had a title. Fly Hard is a play on the title of the 1988 movie Die Hard, a film which inspired several plot elements of this episode as well. Die Hard itself is based on the novel Nothing Lasts Forever by Robert Thorpe. Fly Hard also refers to Clark's inability to easily use his powers throughout most of the episode.
Hey, I'm remembering something.
Julie, do you have any memories of your first time watching this episode?
A little bit. I remember, obviously, the part with Jack and how, we all thought that he had found out the secret. But I also kind of remember being really shocked when Lois showed up with Lex to the planet. Like, wow, they're dating. It came as a shock to me then. But that's really all I remember.
Well, for me, I did get to see this one when it originally aired, and some of the things that stuck out to me were the concoction that they all make with the gum and the orange and all that, because I thought that was cool and how it saved Lex. I remember Lois's password being Superman, that being like funny, just one of those things like, oh, that's hilarious. Like, okay, whatever, Molly. And I remembered Kat coming into the planet and holding up the lingerie. But as a kid, I thought those were swimsuits.
Oh,
so I don't know why I thought she was
funny.
going to go swimming in the middle of the night, but yeah.
Hilarious.
Those are just some of the little things I remember. What about you, Jen?
I don't remember a ton. I like Julie. I was a little caught off guard when Lois was kind of like going on a date with Lex, and I didn't like it. I remember being very appalled. But I do also recall rewatching a lot of it in slow motion. I don't know if it was necessarily right after or after a while when I was watching it, like later on my like tapes. But I remember trying to think about like, is Jack in on it now? Like, does he know? And just watching it in slow motion, because I was watching every facial expression that Jack was making in the stairwell. And, some of the slow scenes when Clark and Jack are having a conversation, I was like, wait, he knows. No. Does he know? So, and then also like, I loved watching the kiss scene on repeat, even though it was like make believe, and I don't know, it was kind of Clark without his glasses, but not Superman. So yeah.
All right, well, before we get into our actual episode, we are going to give our very own summaries in 16 words or less, and we'll start with Julie.
My summary is a hostage situation at the planet leaves Clark feeling powerless. Does someone find out his secret?
Mine is another group of baddies storm the newsroom with guns. Daily Planet security continues to be pitiful.
Amen. Mine is working on the weekend leads to terrorists holding you hostage and Jack finding out a secret.
Awesome.
That's a good call. That makes a good case for not working on the weekends or doing your taxes at your workplace. Or
Right.
cleaning for that matter. Never clean.
Harry.
Yeah, not somebody else's junk.
Yeah. Although his junk was pretty cool.
Yeah. He's got some cool junk.
I do have thoughts on some of it that I was like, ooh, especially this watch, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Like connections. But our guest stars, we have Chris Demetral. He's back. We've kind of already covered him. He plays Jack. This is a big episode for him, but we've covered him before. So if you want to listen to that, you can go back to Foundling. So we also have Macon McCalman. He played Willie. He is best known for Smokey and the Bandit, Fried Green Tomatoes, and Deliverance. Robert Beltran played Fuentes/Murphy. He is best known for Star Trek Voyager and Star Trek Prodigy. He was also in a couple of episodes of Murder, She Wrote and Models Incorporated, or Models Inc., I guess is what it's called. Models Inc. Alexandra Hedison played Remy. She did 14 episodes of The L Word and also appeared on shows like Melrose Place and Nash Bridges. Lois and Clark was actually her first role, her breakout role. It was her first television credit according to IMDb. Now, we all know IMDb could be wrong. However, it looked like that was her first role. Cole Stevens played Shumac. He has done 2 shows total. He's done Cover Up and he did Lois and Clark. And that's it. Anthony Leonardi played Blackman. He did 4 episodes of Matt Houston and also Dominion. And last, we have Don Femmel. He played George, and his credits include The X-Files and The Bold and the Beautiful.
All right. Let me just set the scene here. It is 8 p.m., Saturday, March 26th. Just a normal Saturday night in Metropolis, except not. A weird twist of fate brings everyone back to the Daily Planet for one reason or another. Clark is busy finishing his taxes, or maybe he's helping Jack with his taxes? Who knows? But it seems they're going to head to the movies once he's done, so Jack just waits impatiently playing something on Game Boy. Jimmy is there too, helping to clear out all the junk from Perry's office. He's clearly been suckered into this and not happy about it. He comes out of the office with a large cardboard sign from the 76th Republican Convention, ready to chuck it when Perry argues that it's history.
Hey, where you going with that? This marked the way to the hospitality suite. 76th Republican Convention. Judas Priest, man. Gerald Ford tripped over this. It's history.
You're absolutely right. It's history, says Jimmy, and he throws it, frustrated because Perry doesn't want to part with anything.
I'm just thinking now about Jack's taxes, but I don't think Jack would have to do taxes because he just got the job this year. And before that, he was off the books, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
That's true. So it probably is Clark's taxes then.
But then
why?
again, I'm like, why? Yeah, why? Why?
Just go to the movie. Do your taxes later at home. Or just
He
pay
could do
somebody
his
to do it.
taxes so fast.
Right. He could.
This is definitely one of those many weird things about this episode. It doesn't make me dislike it. It's just many weird things. But I thought, well, maybe this is my one thing is that maybe Clark being himself, being a little, maybe it's true what he said in Witness, where he can sense when someone's in trouble. Maybe he senses that something's about to go down tonight. And he's like, I just have this feeling I should sit here and do this because I'm not giving the writers that much credit, though.
Why not?
Sure. So Jimmy ends up calling Perry's stuff junk, and Perry takes offense, but it's my junk, okay? You touch that Elvis box and you're a dead man. I don't think anybody's throwing out Elvis things. They know better because he would kill them.
Totally.
I don't think Jimmy's that stupid.
It's Perry.
Exactly. The elevator dings and in walks Lois and Lex on their way to the opera. Madame Butterfly, to be exact. But apparently, Lois's source got arrested and she has to quickly rewrite her lead first. What are your thoughts on her dress?
I liked it. I thought like it's sleeveless, it's like black, simple. I don't know. I don't remember what the bottom part looks like, but I thought from the top up it looked great.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What did you think? No? Not a fan?
I thought it was beautiful. Yeah, it was
Okay.
very, very revealing for sure.
It was. Yes.
I'm surprised they got away with that for an 8 o'clock show, but I thought it was cool. Molly doesn't look like she likes it.
I hadn't considered the dress at all until this very moment, to be honest.
I would have rather her worn that on a date with Clark. I guess I'll say that. I don't like that she's wearing it to go out with Lex.
Just then, Perry comes out of his office wearing a beer guzzling hat, reminiscing about the Super Bowl, until he notices that Lex is there. Embarrassed, he takes it off, explains that he's cleaning, throws it to Jimmy, and gets back to work. Jack then mentions that he wants some pizza, and Jimmy just starts rattling off his order. Fresh tomatoes, mushrooms, onions, and olives. But Jack laughs, pats him on the back, and says,
Hey, goes in a salad, doesn't go on a pizza.
do you agree?
No, I love vegetarian pizza. Give me all the vegetables. But wasn't this a quote? Wasn't this quote used as an MP3 or, WAV file back in the day? I remember going into a chat room or something. Maybe it wasn't that quote specifically, but like when it would play, or maybe I had it saved on I had it saved on a disc somewhere that I would play that one on repeat. If it goes in a salad, it doesn't go on a pizza.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think it was. But there was a lot of quotes, yes.
Yeah.
I like veggie pizza though, but I don't like mushrooms, so take those off.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a
And
big
also,
mushroom fan, but I'll eat them.
Who's paying for this pizza? Are they expensing it? Because Jack's not buying, that's for sure.
Maybe Perry?
You're gonna pool their money, probably. They've probably done this before.
Yeah. Good question
know.
though. Maybe. Or Perry, because he's dragged everyone into the office, and he's the boss. He gets paid the big
Yeah.
bucks.
Yeah, well, Perry didn't make Jack come into the office.
True.
But I could see Jack buying the pizza. I could see Jack getting the pizza and being like, here's the receipt, Perry. But anyway, Perry comes back out with his Elvira cardboard cutout, explaining she was the reason that he's seen Godzilla 115 times, and she's definitely a keeper. I think it's hilarious that Jimmy thinks that she's scary. She is a little scary.
I always thought she was. But I met her like a few months ago, and I didn't even realize it.
Really?
Yeah, we talked for like 15 minutes. And now, after watching it this time, I was like, oh my gosh, I met someone. She was kind of on Lois and Clark. Not really, but
You should have been like, I loved you on Lois and Clark.
I didn't realize until after she walked away. And then I stalked her Instagram, and I'm like, I saw a picture of her, and I'm like, I was there. I took that picture on her phone, like for her. I took the picture, and then it's on her phone. Like,
That's funny.
holy crap. I know.
Where has
Crazy.
all this stuff been? We have never seen this cardboard cutout before. We've never seen any. I mean, maybe he has a closet that they're
It's
cleaning,
gotta
but
be.
it's not his office. His office has always been, pretty clean, but for some Elvis and some awards and
That storage
Mr.
room
Foot.
that Clark goes into. He
That's
saves
not
it in
that
there.
closet either.
It's not that, you don't think?
No, that one's different.
Well, okay.
It's got to be like Perry's office closet because it's his office. But still.
Yeah, this was my question. Where is all this stuff coming from? He must have a closet in there that we don't know about.
Yeah.
A very large one. Where it's like Mary Poppins' bag, where just more stuff keeps coming out.
They could have escaped through that. What were they thinking?
Right?
Just then, Kat comes in with her date mid-makeout session, realizing they're not alone. Kat introduces him, though she pauses, kind of forgetting his name, and George has to remind her. Clearly, they probably had just met. And she says,
Well, I was gonna show George here how we put a newspaper to bed, but it's a little crowded.
they resume their kissing and they leave. And we hear Jimmy say,
You know, I could have lived without hearing that, thank you.
and then he runs into the pole distracted because he's carrying a bunch of Perry's crap.
I know Jimmy too runs into the pole at least once. It might have been more than once, but it happens again.
Yes.
That's funny.
Just then, Willie, an elderly security guard, steps off the elevator on his nightly rounds and is surprised that they're all there. But Perry comes out, now wearing a sombrero, and assures him that everything is all right. After Willie leaves the newsroom, the phone lines go dead, and 5 people with guns enter. A woman shoots at the ceiling to get everyone's attention, and a man steps forward claiming they're taking over the building, and that he has a nuclear device which they will set off if they see Superman or the police.
How many times now have people stormed into the Daily Planet who are unwanted? I mean, I'm thinking Trask.
Trask for sure.
Yeah. And there's going to be more, but maybe. Oh, yeah. Some of them are in later episodes that I'm thinking of. But yeah.
At least this one in Trask. Was there another
Trask
one?
and
Well, we got that old gang of mine, but all that
that's
stuff
the one I
happens
was
later.
just,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's later.
The eyes have it. There's a lot happens later on. They don't learn anything from this episode. Security-wise. They don't learn
Higher-
anything.
Anyone but an 80-year-old former criminal. Anyone else.
Anyone else would be
I
good.
know. Gosh.
Maybe. But did you guys see, because I'm reading the script as well, I'm noticing more. And I read in the script that Clark is about to do something here because he lowers his glasses. Like maybe he's going to like shoot out the lights or like heat up the guns or something. And then Perry stands right in front of him and blocks him.
Mhm.
I noticed
Never
that.
noticed that until I went back after reading the script. Never noticed that.
I've noticed it for a while.
Mhm.
Because Perry, he's kind of the reason why they fall as deep into the hole as they do. Because maybe he could have solved it right then and there, but then we wouldn't have a show. So thanks, Barry.
Yeah, him disarming the gun wouldn't have helped the situation. They had more guns and then they had the bombs. So,
Yeah.
but yes,
True.
it's just the first of several instances of Clark is about to do something and somebody has to go and F it up.
Over and over and over in this episode.
Mhm.
Over and over.
Yes. Lois, Perry.
Lex, a little bit
Jack.
Jack, though I forgive him.
So now everyone is in the conference room. Lex suggests negotiating with the terrorists. Lois believes they're going to be eventually killed because they can identify them now. Jack believes they can overpower them because there's just 5 on 5. And Clark believes the safest course of action is to simply wait it out. Clark does, however, lower his glasses to examine the bomb and whispers to himself,
I could just burn the wires leading to the bombs.
"Why are you talking to yourself, man?"
Throughout this whole episode.
Did he whisper it to himself? Or I had that question. Was it a whisper or was it a voiceover? Like, were we hearing his internal thoughts?
Ooh.
Or was his mouth moving? Because I didn't see his mouth moving. I didn't think.
No, but he does it later when he says Willie and he says Dragonetti. Those things are out
Mhm,
loud.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
this one might have been a
was
internal.
It might have been internal.
This is the first time I've ever heard him do an internal monologue, if that's the case.
All right, we'll have to go back and make sure,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Yeah, now I have to go back and make sure because maybe I wasn't paying attention. Maybe it was internal. But in the script, he actually does say it out loud, and Lois hears him and is like, "What?"
No, that's right. No. Okay, I've been wrong before, but what I think I think he says that internally, and then he says lead lined.
Lead.
Lead out
He
loud.
says lead.
Yes.
And then Lois
Yes,
hears
that's
it and
what
she
it
goes, "What'd you say, Clark?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down, I think.
She's gonna wonder, why is this guy always just randomly saying lead? I mean, he said it in Honeymoon too, and she was like, "What?" He's like, "I don't know."
It's like the Clark's F word, lead.
Borscht.
Oh, lead. That's my new F word. Lead you.
Lead. Oh my gosh.
Go lead yourself. I could be saying this all day today. Like, today is one of those days where I'm just like, lead. Okay, breathe.
Lead.
So just then, Lois remembers that Jimmy is somewhere, probably hiding, and maybe he'll save them. Perry responds unoptimistically, Jimmy couldn't save baseball cards. Wow, Perry. Jeez.
He's just bitter that Jimmy wanted to throw out his beer hat. I mean, but it just goes to show Perry still doesn't completely appreciate Jimmy.
But we now see where Jimmy went. He is hiding in the storeroom, holding a fire extinguisher as a weapon. I guess the only thing he could find in there. A binder. You could throw a binder at somebody, I guess. There's not much in there. But again, he's also talking to himself about what's going on and that he needs to get the heck out of there. Shut up, man. The bad guys are on the other side of the freaking wall. They might hear you.
Yeah.
Just then, he sees this massive ventilation shaft in the wall and has an escape plan in mind. It's a good thing it's giant, big enough for him to crawl through. Back in the conference room, Clark continues to argue back and forth with Lex. Lex makes a comment about knowing people like this. I'm sure you do, Lex.
Oh, he is one.
Exactly. He does know how these people act. He believes they should take the offense. Clark reminds Lex of the bomb and advises him not to provoke them. Lex feels entitled to be in charge, but Perry, fed up with all the arguing from them, interrupts and asserts that this is his ship and he is the captain. Jack chimes in with a reference to the Exxon Valdez, which Perry does not find amusing. He tells Jack, I don't want to hear anything from the peanut gallery. I think Perry might still be holding a little grudge against Jack for calling him Gramps. Lois agrees that they need a plan and sees the two bad guys getting on the elevator, so she quickly jumps into action, creating a diversion before anyone can even object. She tells Lex to grab a chair and hit the guy with it when he comes in, which Lex seems overly excited about. He starts grinning and getting up like, yay. She starts yelling that Perry is having a heart attack and they need a doctor. So Perry really has no choice but to go along with it, and he starts wheezing and gasping and clutching his chest. It's not convincing at all. So when the guy comes in, just clearly not believing a single thing here because it's really not convincing. And then the other guy comes in with a gun in his hand and shoots off 5 rounds at Perry. Perry instantly stops faking, and we see that thankfully the shots were just at his feet. The shooter exclaims,
9mm automatic. Better than a triple bypass. Am I right?
Perry agrees and tells him that he's feeling a lot better.
How come Clark, there's a gun pointed at Perry, and Clark's there, and he didn't try to stop the gun that's pointed at Perry? Granted, does he see the direction of the gun? Is that why he didn't stop it from, like, him getting shot?
He completely covered Lois. He was protecting Lois. Didn't care about Perry.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry, Perry. Can't save them all.
He can't, I mean, he can only do so much. Even, in moments like these that are a complete surprise and just happening in a millisecond. Yes, he can do a lot more when he's Superman and not constrained. But
Mhm.
yeah, in this moment, like you said, his instinct was just like, whew, dive over Lois.
Dive over
It's
Lois.
sweet. I'm glad Perry's
Even-
okay.
Even though it was her
Yeah.
fault all of this happened.
Yeah, poor Perry. If anything had happened, it would have been Lois's fault, and Clark didn't save the innocent guy in this whole scenario. So, yikes.
This whole thing would have given him a heart attack. It would have given me a heart attack if somebody shot at me 5 times.
No kidding.
But he even steps in front of her too to protect her again when the guy was like, what did he say? Don't test my patience. Do you understand? And she doesn't answer. Stubborn Lois doesn't understand, and Clark just stands in front of her.
She understands, sir.
And she just rolls her eyes too, like, ugh, Clark. Poor Clark. They all think he's just some cowardly, I don't know.
Even Jack.
Yeah, even Jack. It's just how this episode goes, I guess. Poor Clark. Well, the elevator dings and some men come in wheeling in a cart, but they are told that they're on the wrong floor and they need to go down one. The men leave the conference room, and Perry is understandably furious with Lois, telling her,
Lois, if you ever try roping me into another deal like that, the only writing you will ever do is writing recipes for the food section.
One of the many things I don't understand about the plot is why, if the machinery and all that stuff is supposed to be going down one floor, and they've all planned to start digging down one floor, why did they even come to the newsroom to begin with?
I was wondering that as well.
And even if, no, I don't know. I never know. We'll never find out. Spoiler alert.
Maybe they needed more room, or maybe they needed the computers. No, they had their own computer. I don't know.
And there was advertising would have had computers.
I kind of question that as well.
Well, I mean, the real reason is they had to delay the finding of the vault in the episode, and Warner Brothers doesn't have another floor of this Daily Planet for us to shoot in.
Yeah.
So we're going to do this, but it's still like, why?
True.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we have more arguing between Lex and Clark on what they should do, and Clark just launches into this big long tangent.
We need to stay alive any way we can.
Right, so what do you suggest, mister? Can we just sit here, let them do whatever they want, and then wait for them to kill us?
No, but I have no choice. If I go out there and try to get to the bomb, any one of those guys could kill any one of you. And if that is a hair trigger under his finger, it could go off before I could stop it, and I can't take that risk.
Clark, take it easy. You're not Superman.
She fully believes that Superman will save them. How is Superman going to save them? He doesn't know. I guess maybe he could hear the guns. Maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
So far, he's been pretty consistent with saving Lois whenever she needs him, without her even yelling for help at times. Like in the vault in I'm Looking Through You, he managed to find her. She probably just thinks he's always watching over her or something. But what I like here is when Lois says that, you know, Superman will find a way. Lex audibly scoffs. He's like,
yeah, he will.
He will. And Lex, I know you're jealous, but
like you said, Superman is psychic, so, and he knows when his friends are in trouble. So he's out there somewhere. Anyway, some time has clearly passed, and Lois starts regretting drinking a glass of water. She informs everyone that she has to go. Jack flippantly replies,
Okay, see you tomorrow.
And she's like,
hilarious.
No. I love it. She's like,
No, I mean, I have to go.
All of a sudden?
No, just since you mentioned it. Thank you very much.
Clark lowers his glasses, but just as he's about to blast some heat vision to set the sprinklers off, Lois interrupts by banging on the door, asking to go to the bathroom. The woman takes her, leaving the rest of them with only one person outside watching them. Luther, thinking only of himself as usual, notices that the man is distracted and sees an opportunity to escape. Just as Clark finally sets the sprinklers off, Lex takes advantage of the moment and runs towards the exit, only to be shot in the shoulder. Yay! Lex is shot.
I know. And the end of the episode, right there.
That's karma, though, right there. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't think anyone getting shot is a nice thing. Don't get me
No.
wrong or anything. It's bad.
No.
But Lex was being completely foolhardy and selfish. And yeah.
He knew the risks. He took it.
Deserves it at that point.
And he needed to have his reality shaken a bit, I think.
Well, anyway, they rush out to help him back into the room, and he mentions that it just nicked him, so nobody really seems that worried about it. They don't check him or anything, which is kind of weird. But I guess they just take his word for it that he's okay. Just then we see that Willie is sitting at his security desk taking a phone call. Somebody had called inquiring about the sprinklers going off, and he tells them that there's no fire and hangs up, everything's fine. So, nope, nobody's coming to save them. So, are the phones working? That's my question. Do the phones work?
I guess on the main floor they do.
Maybe there. Maybe the security phone is on a separate line.
Yeah, that was, I mean, we'll talk about Die Hard later a bit, but yeah, I think in that movie they kept like the phone lines going in one floor, but they cut them off to the other floors. Yeah.
So was there an issue with the phones at the Daily Planet other than Willie's phone?
Yeah, Jack was trying to call for pizza and it went like, do, you're being cut off.
Oh,
and
right.
he's mad.
That's right. I forgot about
So they
that.
were not.
They were not working.
They couldn't get to a phone, no.
Okay.
And nobody had cell phones. And I mean, even Lex, who would probably be rich enough to own one, probably just had a car phone and had left it in the car. Although I have questions about how he got to the Daily Planet in the first place. Oh, Julie, you're on the same page.
Yes, me too. Same thing. We'll get there.
Oh, yes.
All right, so now the terrorists have pretty much had it with them, and they start handcuffing them together in pairs to discourage any more escape attempts. Clark is handcuffed to Jack, Lois to Lex, Perry to just a random chair with wheels. Thankfully, it has wheels so he can kind of scoot around. But they are all warned that if anyone tries anything, their buddy dies. Things have gotten serious.
Hear that chair?
Yeah,
Don't do anything, chair.
Perry's safe.
But Perry, you better be good because that chair's getting it.
So Jack ends up picking the lock on his cuff, and Clark snaps it back shut, saying that, they can't risk it. And Jack says,
Guess Luther was right about you.
Jack, it's a lot more complicated than that.
Guess we all can't be heroes.
again, poor Clark. Like, he's correct. He's trying to find a way out. He just seems like he can't figure out what to do. And everybody just thinks he's a coward. That's just sad.
And that's like the worst insult Jack can give at that moment is that Luther, was.
Luther's right.
Oh, no.
That's terrible.
I cannot
I hear that.
Of all the guys.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So now we see that Jimmy is just crawling through the vents, impersonating Perry, saying,
Jimmy? You want to come into the office on Saturday night? Help me spring clean? Gee, can I, Chief? Cleaning out 20 years of your junk sure beats spending Saturday night with a 20-year-old hand model. I'm such an idiot.
Do we really think Jimmy...
I don't think so.
Do you think he had a date?
No, I don't think so.
That's in his dreams.
Mm-hmm.
If he had a date with a 20-year-old hand model, he is not going to be cleaning out Perry's crap.
Well, let's be real. It's a hand model.
No, man.
Not like she's a model.
Yeah, but you have to be pretty...
Oh.
You have to be pretty put together to even be a hand model.
Yeah. Okay. I wouldn't know.
No biting your nails. Have to be under
That would not be
20,
me.
25, probably.
Yeah.
Don't never worked hard with your hands, etc. I can see why that might appeal to some people.
Yes. Yes.
Julie's muddling her hands for us.
I'm a nail biter, so I would not be a
Oh.
hand model.
So, as Julie said, Lois and Lex are handcuffed back to back, and Lois is going on about how exciting it is to be in the scenario that they're in.
This is going to make an incredible story. I mean, how many journalists get this kind of opportunity to be in the belly of the beast, part of the event, not just a casual observer? It's like being one of those guys in the Baghdad hotel.
Lex is not listening, though. In fact, he might be slipping out of consciousness. It takes Lois a minute, but all of a sudden she realizes Lex is really hurt, and she calls for help. Jack, Clark, Perry, they all hurry over, and Clark takes a look at Lex's chest and sees that Lex is bleeding badly.
Darn.
Yay.
Mm.
Such a shame.
Such a shame. He was such a nice young man. Clark begins barking orders, looking around the room and basically telling the others to get him an orange, some tea bags, some gum. He goes into this whole thing about how these things will make a concoction that'll help treat Lex's wound. He says he learned it from a Bornean medicine man. Lois is doubtful, but Clark absolutely takes control of the situation, and soon everyone's following his orders. With all of them distracted, Clark uses his heat vision to cauterize the bullet wound. When the gum tea orange potion is ready, Clark pours it on Lex's already treated wound. And then, I'm afraid, he seems to enjoy doing this so much, he does it twice.
Yes.
Good job, Clark.
They then pull back Lex's shirt collar, and lo and behold, the bullet wound has closed. Perry says, "I'll be damned," and Lois thanks Clark.
See, Clark could have been an ER doctor and saved lives tenfold.
But he doesn't want to be a doctor.
I know, but he wants to save people.
Yes,
I don't
he
know.
does. But he likes to write.
He just could do a lot of things. He could have done a lot of things.
It is true. Just then, Clark hears the sound of a jackhammer. The others don't seem to hear it, but they feel the vibrations it's making. Fuentes, that's our main bad guy, gets on his walkie-talkie and tells his cronies that they were supposed to wait for his instructions. He is still studying the plans. Clark surmises that the bad guys must be using the machinery that they brought in earlier when they went up to the wrong floor and they saw that stuff come out. But why, asks Perry, why would they want to destroy the Daily Planet? Clark says he thinks maybe actually they're looking for something. Of course, remember, Clark can use his X-ray vision, and he's seeing a lot more than they can see. A few minutes later, we learn that the digging on the floor below has yielded nothing. Fuentes gets really angry and demands that Remy, that's the female crony, bring up the plans on her extremely 90s laptop. She tells him it got damaged by the sprinklers, so Fuentes pulls out his gun and murders the laptop. And admit it, who here has wanted to do that at least once in their life?
Every day at work.
I know. You said at least once, like a day, or at all times?
I mean, it was a bit of a drastic thing to do. However, I think that laptop was already dead.
Yeah.
It's a pretty heavy looking laptop.
Oh, yeah. My brother had one very similar. And Clark has one in, I think, House of Luther. And he's
the pilot.
Oh, does he have the laptop in the pilot too? Okay, well, I know he has it in the House of Luther because when he's writing his novel. So Fuentes continues shouting, and Clark overhears him say Dragonetti. Clark repeats this name aloud, and the others, of course, hear him. This sparks a memory in Perry.
Dragonetti. I'll be damned. I haven't heard that name in years.
You know him, Chief?
I know of him. Pino Pretty-Faced Dragonetti's one of the fiercest gangsters in the Prohibition-Era.
Dragonetti was a gangster who used to hang out in the speakeasy at the basement of the Daily Planet. Actually, he was such a high-profile gangster, he built the Daily Planet. So, we cut to our first of several black and white old-timey scenes. Lex is Dragonetti, Clark is a business partner of Dragonetti's named Bill, and Lois is Dragonetti's girlfriend, Lily. Kat, Perry, Jimmy, and Fuentes are there too. And I don't think there's anything that important from this part. We just kind of get introduced to all of them.
I loved the black and white scenes, only for the artistry of it. Like, I love black and white films, so to see my people in black and white, but I didn't follow it. I didn't follow the story like that much. I didn't.
Like, a random memory that I have that kind of relates to this one is that when I think it was The Eyes Have It aired, Perry began telling a story about something from the past, and I got really excited thinking we were going to do this again, doing like the whole flashback, and I was like, oh, they're going to go into a flashback, and instead they just cut to the next scene. I was like, what? What's happening? It's supposed to be a flashback right now.
Can I just say, because I feel like Kat deserves some props here. She looked gorgeous in her little, she was carrying the tray and like she's the server, whatever. She looked classy in a not, what am I trying to say? She looked really pretty.
Mm-hmm. Back in the present, Fuentes has come into the room and is asking for someone who can grant him computer access. He wants to get into the MetroComp database. Clark, thinking this might be an opportunity, tries to volunteer, but Lois points out that Clark won't know how to use MetroComp because it's the old system from 3 years ago. She tells Fuentes, you'll have to take me. So, Fuentes takes Lois out of the room to a computer and demands her password. At first, she doesn't want to give it, but when Fuentes begins to choke her, she calls out,
Superman!
For 2 seconds, Clark thinks she's calling him, but nope, because she then croaks,
Superman, that's my access code!
Lois helps Fuentes bring up some copies of the blueprints he needs. She also uses this as an opportunity to ask him some questions and to steal at least one of his papers. As the new plans are printing and Fuentes is distracted, Lois tries to send an SOS over the modem.
So back in the 90s, when you would have a modem, you would have to use a telephone line. So if the telephone lines are gone on this floor, how are they using the modem?
In a public place like the Daily Planet, they were probably on a LAN. Like a continually online,
Okay,
like how we had in college.
Okay.
Yeah, because otherwise every single person would have to dial up to a different line every time they wanted to get online, and that would have been really hard.
So the LAN is still working.
It must be.
I was thinking that maybe maybe that's why the email didn't go through, because it's down. I don't know.
No, I mean,
Or else why would it take like 5 hours to send 3 letters?
because it was 1994. I remember when you used to send an email, it could be like 5 minutes before the person you sent it to would get it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, it was slow. So I always bought it.
True.
Plus, there's a lot of tension with the beep, beep, beep. Will it go through before he comes back? Well, of course.
Yeah.
Not.
And then she's doing this with her screen.
Oh, yeah, like so obvious.
Why didn't she just get up and walk over? Get up and walk over to him, away from the screen.
Yeah.
Come on.
Or just sit there and don't cover your screen and look guilty with your eyes. I'm sorry. That was the dumbest acting I've ever seen in my entire life, Lois.
This is not a shining episode for our Lois.
No.
She has a few moments, but this is not one of them.
Yeah.
Let me know when we get to that moment.
Back in the conference room, Clark asks Lex how he's feeling. And Lex snaps.
Oh, please, no false sympathy, Mr. Kent.
You'd be bleeding to death if it wasn't for him.
Is that true?
Don't ask me if I'd do it again.
I like that Jack was the one that
Yeah.
I like that Jack was the one that said, well, hey, Clark saved your life. Like,
yeah.
Good job, Jack.
I love that Jack is never afraid of Lex. I mean, Jack never does find out that Lex is the one that kidnapped him back in Foundling, but pretty much every time Lex and Jack have any interaction. Jack just does not care that this guy is supposedly like rich and powerful. And I think that might be why Lex makes Jack the scapegoat coming up, because he's like, that kid doesn't respect me. I'm like, he's going to take the fall for this kind of thing. But we're getting to that. We'll come to that. Yeah, I like that too. Another thing about this scene is this whole like, Clark has just saved Lex's life. Will he regret it 2 episodes from now?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
We then cut to Jimmy, who's still crawling around in the vents, getting nowhere. Lois's SOS message is still sending, but it's so dang slow that Fuentes eventually catches her, cancels the message, grabs Lois, and brings her back to the conference room. As he's standing in the doorway, he tells Remy to tell the other bad guys to bring the equipment back up to the newsroom floor. Remy says, okay, but what about them? Meaning Clark and the others. She, this whole time, has really wanted to kill everybody.
Yes.
Well, Fuentes, who at first seemed like he was willing to let everyone live, has started to change his mind, what with all the shenanigans Lois and Lex and Perry and everyone have been pulling, and now tells Remy, if anyone tries anything to shoot to kill, he's done.
She's like, yay.
Yeah, she's excited about that. She's like, what do you mean by tries anything? Breathes? Can I? Lois shows the others the paper that she swiped from Fuentes. It turns out to be a diagram that triggers another jump back in time to the Prohibition era. So we're in the black and white days, and Bill, the character played by Clark, suspects Dragonetti, Lex, of trying to double-cross him and threatens to go solo. He reminds Dragonetti that the vault that they share needs 2 keys to open it, and that he, Bill, has one of them. Back in the present, Lois wonders if Dragonetti's vault full of money is still in the Daily Planet building somewhere. Perry says he's heard rumors over the years, but didn't think the vault was really there. Clark superhears keys jangling and realizes they're the keys of a security guard, Willie, who we saw earlier. He says out loud,
Willie.
Willie. Willie's still making his rounds. He'll save us. He's a security guard.
Willie is an octogenarian.
He has a gun.
Lois, he's got a hernia.
Jack decides to go find Willie and ask him to summon help. He once again picks the handcuff lock, detaches himself from Clark, and scoots out of the room. Clark says to the others, I can't let him go alone. Lois tells Clark to be careful, and Clark goes after Jack. He ends up zooming up the stairs and joining Jack on the 5th floor landing. Jack asks, what did you do, fly up here? They hear whistling, and it's Willie. Willie asks them what they're doing there, and presumably they fill him in on what's going on. Back downstairs, the baddies bring the equipment back up to the newsroom. Fuentes orders one of his henchmen to check the prisoners. The guy goes in and sees Lois, Lex, and Perry, and then something on the floor. People sleeping, maybe? He asks what's going on, and Lois and Lex tell him that they're all getting tired and that they're sleeping in shifts. The guy takes another look at the people sleeping, seems satisfied, and then leaves. Perry, who is nonchalantly playing the Game Boy that Jack was playing earlier, says, and to think they wanted me to get rid of Elvira. The camera then zooms in and we see that it's not Clark and Jack sleeping. They're on the floor. It's the Elvira cutout. Vindication for Perry. We cut back to Clark, Jack, and Willie. Willie promises to summon the police and urges Clark and Jack to go back to the conference room before they are missed. They thank him and head back.
So Lex and Lois are talking in the conference room. Her head is resting on his lap. Lex admits that now he knows that it's money that they want. All he needs is 5 minutes alone with the leader. But Lois says that she doesn't think they'll go for it and that they have no reason to trust him. Lex says it's only money, and Lois disgustingly puts her hand up and rubs it in his hair and says,
It's a lot of money.
Lex then goes on a tangent that seems odd coming out of his mouth about how it can't buy a blue sky or brown eyes, and like it's vomit inducing, and all of a sudden he's going to act like he's got morals and understands that money isn't the key to happiness. Sure. The terrorists are still deep in conversation when the elevator dings. Perry looks out to see who? None other than Kat. She is sauntering in, and Perry whispers out to Lex and Lois to check it out, that they might be saved. Lois gets excited and yells out, "Kat," while trying to wave her down. Perry shushes her, saying that she might catch the bad guy's attention. So Kat's over here getting into her work drawer, and she pulls out some lingerie. Okay.
Bathing suits.
Bathing suits for Molly. The first one is of nice violet shade, and Perry, Lois, and Lex give off these confused looks like they're horrified. Kat takes that to mean that this option is obviously no good, so she picks through her drawer and pulls out a red one with black lace. Meanwhile, one of the terrorists starts to head up to the printer, but the lady terrorist, Remy, finds what they're looking for, so the other guy does an about turn and goes back. So, close call. Kat's dancing around with the red teddy, and everyone is like waving and excited, and Kat throws up a thumbs up in response because that's what she got from it, is they're excited. It's a good one. So she shuts the drawer with her winning garment and turns around and leaves, doing a little "I'm getting lucky" dance.
If I'm still alive on Monday morning, she won't be.
And that's why Kat is never seen. No, just
And that is what happens. That is where she goes.
Yeah. Okay.
This is her final episode because Lois killed her. Lois definitely killed her.
There we go. Lois, girl.
I know. I buy that too, because in House of Luther, she's naming off people she misses, and she kind of just puts Kat out there, but like she's covering for herself. She's like, "Oh yeah, I really miss Jimmy and Perry and Kat. Don't check behind the."
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Wow. This is
Don't
really
check in the
sad.
woods.
So now we're in the stairwell, and we see the bad guy coming up the stairs while Jack and Clark are heading down. Uh-oh. The terrorist pulls out his gun and shoots at them, but Clark's arm catches the bullet instead of hitting Jack. And we hear some pounding and punching while Jack looks down. He looks on from above. Jack pulls at his hoodie, and he looks down, and he notices that he has not been shot. And I can see him processing this. He's taking this in, and he's thinking things. What do you guys think might be going through his mind right here?
Well, he knows the bullet went straight at him. He knows it couldn't have hit Clark, or Clark wouldn't be down there being able to punch everybody. He looks down and knows that it doesn't hit him. He's very confused for a minute, but I'm not sure he's quite there yet.
I don't think so either. But he is thinking, I think he's thinking that Clark is not the wimp that I thought he was. I think he's thinking, did the bullet just miss me? I think he's processing all of this, just going, wait, huh? And also, we don't see the kind of fighting that Clark is doing with this bad guy. So what is he observing? Like, is he, I don't know. Like, what kind of fight is he witnessing? I don't know. We don't.
I think Clark probably does a few light punches here because he is as Clark, and he, I mean, as Superman, he almost never does just punching. That's not a Superman thing to do. He's more like, you know, bend this around you. He has to do Clark things. So he has to do that. He has to tie him up with the fire hose, what he has right there. He's, I think it's Jack isn't seeing any super feats down the stairs at this moment.
But he is questioning, how did he survive that bullet? How was Clark okay? How was he okay? And he's thinking, wow, this guy is not the wimp that I called him out like half an hour before.
Well, no, if you go diving down the stairs after a bad guy with a gun, I mean, there's more bullets in that gun. You've got to be pretty brave. So,
absolutely.
For sure. In the script, he also, Clark was also supposed to have a hole in his shirt that Jack saw. So there was much more in the script of Jack seeing.
Oh, no.
And that was one of them. Because I went back and watched again. I was like, is there a hole in his shirt? I'm like, slow motion. I didn't see a hole in his shirt.
I wish they had put a hole in his shirt.
I know.
But then he would have had to explain it to Lois and everyone else.
Yeah, maybe he'd have used his heat vision to make the hole
to mend it
back. Melt it. milk the fibers. If it's
Or if it's what episode was it where his suit like healed itself?
The
Remember?
suit healed itself. I remember when he got shot in Madam X, the hole stayed.
The whole stay. Yeah, it's not
That's
that
right.
one. I don't know. I feel like it does come up eventually where his suit like
The
heals
suit-
itself.
The suit's like,
Yeah.
I can't think of which one it is.
So while this smackdown is happening in the stairwell, meanwhile, in the conference room, Lois asks if they heard something. And Lex says, yes, faintly. So they know something's going on out there. Next, Clark is tying up the bad guy, and Jack comes down with a bewildered look and asks Clark what happened. Clark's response is actually kind of believable. At least to me, he sounds believable. And he says, well, he missed. And he says it with confidence, which is different than how he would normally hide his secret, because usually I feel like he stutters and he has shifty eyes, and, you know, he says it with confidence this time. So there's an awkward silence, and then Jack asks if he's sure he's all right. Guys, I love Jack. I just love him. I had such a crush on him.
No.
Molly's like, okay, I won't take him from you, Molly.
He's Molly's.
Okay, he's Molly's. But I do love him. He's a great kid. So Clark says that he's fine and starts heading down the stairs. Jack stops him and says,
Hey, Clark. Luther was wrong about you.
Thanks. Come on.
and Molly's heart eyes grow bigger. And Clark smiles back.
He's redeemed.
He is redeemed. Clark and Jack sneak back into the conference room, and Lois pounces, asking if they found Willie. Clark says that help is on the way. No, it's not. Meanwhile, the bad guys are moving the furniture, and Perry is flipping the F out. Perry's like, not my Elvis box. But it looks like they found Dragonetti's vault. They start hammering.
Perry's office.
Yep. They start hammering into the ground, and it was right under Perry's nose, as Jack states.
I was always confused at this point. What is an Elvis box? And at what point do we even see it?
This was going to be my question. What is it?
I mean, all I could gather was that he had maybe like a music box or a box set of something, and that when they pulled up the rug, they tossed it to the side, but we just never see it. Thing.
Maybe it's just a box full of Elvis stuff.
Oh, could be
Elvis
that
memorabilia.
I don't know.
I can see him having like a scarf that Elvis threw into the crowd. Maybe some old vinyl records. Maybe an autographed framed photo.
A napkin that he used.
Yeah. Hair clipping.
Hair clippings.
Maybe some
Yeah, I don't know.
Elvis shades, sequins, guitar.
Guitar.
Sideburns.
He'd have that thing on the wall if he had a guitar.
Totally.
Well, we may never know. Just that the bad guys somehow either pushed, touched, or kicked Perry's beloved thing, Elvis box. Mentioned earlier in the episode and never seen. I used to think while watching this that the safe was somehow like Perry's Elvis box, but now I'm like, no, they had to pull up the carpet, so he didn't know there was a safe there.
I used to think that they were related as well. I don't know how, and I didn't really care.
Because just as they're ripping it up, he's like, oh no, not my Elvis box, as if they're connected. Yeah.
Yeah. So Perry, Jack, Lex, Lois, and Clark are all looking out as the bad guys dig. Then we see Jimmy still crawling through the air ducts or the vents, or I don't know where he is, but he's being a little loud, yelling, which door is it gonna be? Door number 1? Like Julie said earlier, hello. The walls aren't soundproof, man. Like, maybe be a little more inconspicuous. Like, shh, be quiet, dude. Anyway, he's not having much luck, and he keeps running into dead ends. Eventually, he winds up coming out into the stairwell. He is like, I am the man. I am the man. He is pumped. Then he holds his hands up and loses his smile. And he goes,
You are the man.
whoops.
Nice,
Has,
nice callback to Foundling there.
he has been
You are the
Yeah.
man, and you are the woman.
You are the woman.
I guess if anyone has a catchphrase, that's kind of Jimmy's little catchphrase so far.
Yeah, he
You
kind
are
of
the
lost
man.
smooth at some point.
Yeah. So Fuentes tells the Daily Planet people plus Lex that they've found what they needed. Lex tries to say that he will double the amount of money in the vault, to which Fuentes responds,
From what I've heard, I'd be better off out there with the cops on my tail than you, Mr. Luthor.
hear that, Lois?
Mm-hmm.
This guy's
Luther.
bad news.
Luther's got a reputation.
If the bad guy thinks that someone's a bad guy, they're the bad guy. They're real bad.
Read the writing in front of you. Mm-hmm.
Run away.
And do we think Lois is brainwashed yet? Because she's a reporter. You'd think she'd be able to catch on to this stuff.
No, she knows Lex is a little shady, but I mean, it'll come up in Barbarians when he proposes. He does the whole, like, I know I've done bad things in the past, but I'm gonna change for you. And, like, there is a part of that where she does believe, like, he's gonna change or something, but she knows he's not perfect.
There are parts where he is charming, though. Even
Oh,
in this
yeah.
episode, there's a few parts where he's charming. So I can see it a little bit on why she kind of falls a little bit for him.
Oh, we're gonna have
Even
so
though
much
we
to
don't
say
like
about-
Yeah.
We don't like it. Mm-mm.
I don't know. He's charming, but I feel like it's still early enough that her common sense should still be there. And I don't see it and it bugs me. But okay. Anyway, Fuentes says that he wants to let the mastermind uncover everything after all of their hard work, and that he thinks that they'll really enjoy meeting him, the mastermind. Fuentes talks into his walkie-talkie stating, "We're ready for you, sir," and he opens the door. Everyone looks out, and the elevator door dings open, and they see Jimmy walking out. Everyone goes in unison, "Jimmy?" And then Jimmy puts his hands up, and behind him is the old man, Willie, with his gun on Jimmy's back. And then they all go in unison, "Willie?"
Really? I did notice that Lex does not say Jimmy. And I'm wondering, is it because he doesn't remember his name because he doesn't care anything about Jimmy?
That's
He
hilarious.
just kind of stares like,
That would go back to, what was it, Honeymoon, where he's just like whoever when he saw Jimmy.
Whoever.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah.
so mean.
So I kind of
That's
like,
good.
because I rewound it just to see. I was like, does he say Jimmy? Nope. Everybody else says Jimmy except for Lex. Probably doesn't remember
Wow.
who he is. He's just whoever.
So either the writers got that right or John Shea was like, I can't say his name. I don't care about this kid. Someone was on their game. That's good. So now they've realized that help is not on the way. Perry calls out Willie, saying that he recommended him for the job. And Willie then mentioned that he has a prison record. Do they not do background checks on these people? Yeah, let's give the guy with the gun a job and not like look at his background. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was
Jesus.
about to say, like, well, maybe if he had a record in another state, but no. We're about to learn it happened right here in Metropolis.
Yeah.
Right. How does Perry know this guy? Good enough to recommend him?
Yeah.
But then had absolutely zero faith in him whatsoever to save them because he's like, oh, he's like an old dude with, a hernia. And I'm like, you recommended him.
Yeah, he's got to be just.
I guess he never thought something like this would happen.
Yeah,
so.
and I think Willie's just the night security guard. They've never expected him to have to do anything except walk around and make a phone call and.
Yeah.
If someone's job requires them to carry a gun, there needs to be background checks. But I'm going to get off my soapbox. Ridiculous.
Something.
Anyway.
Well, it could have been. He is Willie, and his criminal. When he was Bill.
True.
Earlier. Well, we'll see it. keep going because we got to get to the whole, what was this all about?
The
Okay.
whole reveal. Ooh.
So Willie admits that he just got out of jail 10 months ago. And he was charged with murder. 1. Face palm. Hi. Jack is like, "You killed someone?" And Willie's like, "Of course not. Don't be ridiculous." And we get a flashback to our good old black and white scene. So in this flashback, we learn that Dragonetti framed Willie for murder with the help of Lily. So Willie was basically arrested for the murder of Murphy. And then she kisses Dragonetti and barf.
We learned earlier that Dragonetti and Bill, which was his name back in the day, both had a key to this vault. So Bill is going off to prison with this key hidden somewhere on him. And then we'll learn that Dragonetti, passes away soon after, which sets up why this vault is still intact. Yeah.
So anyway, Willie said that he ever got out, he'd come back for what belonged to him. Willie admits that Dragonetti was gunned down 6 weeks after Willie went to prison. Clark tells Willie that they're going to send him back to prison after what he's done to everyone here. And well, Willie is like, "But you weren't supposed to be here." And then he looks at the bad guys and goes, you guys said no guns. To which Fuentes responds, "Well, I lied about a lot of things." And then he shoves Jimmy and goes over to Willie and basically says, "I played you." Willie is being double-crossed yet again. I almost feel sorry for the dude. The bad guy calls out that they're in, and Fuentes says, "Good, load the bags." Lois asks, "What about us?" Fuentes then turns to Remy and tells her,
Remy, I've begun to come around to your way of thinking. We'll meet you at the chopper. They're all yours.
in other words, you can kill them all. So she licks her lips like a kid in a candy store and strokes her machine gun like it's, well, never mind. But holy cannoli. Yikes. And then Fuentes goes, "Accept her." And he points to Lois. Of course. They may need a hostage if anything goes wrong. So Fuentes punches Lex on the way out and drags Lois behind him. Everyone is being carted down the stairwell at gunpoint when you hear Clark say, "Hold him." And he pushes Lex into Jack, then zaps the light bulb with his heat vision doodad. He shoves Remy down on the stairwell and he heads back up the stairs. Jimmy then shoots back up the stairs and asks if Lex and Jack and Willie are okay. And then he goes, "Where's CK?" And he looks up the stairs. Jack goes, "I don't know." And Lex yells out, "Kent." They decide to just go and continue on down the stairs, leaving that Remy girl, but not Jack. Jack looks back up the stairwell, down at his broken handcuff, and then heads up the stairs. And this music starts to swell. The bad guys are now on the roof of the Daily Planet. They're ready to make their exit. They're freaking out because the chopper isn't there, and they're trying to figure out who took it. Of course, Lois blurts out,
Superman.
Back inside, come on!
This pisses off the bad terrorists, and they head back inside with Lois in tow. But as they come in, Clark is by the electrical box, and he has just turned the power off. Lights go out.
Do you guys think he actually did take the chopper, or
No,
did it just
it's
never
one of
show up?
those, like, yeah, it just never showed up because
I don't think he did.
I mean, how you never heard them talking to the people on the chopper, like, come on. And that would have certainly attracted attention. You're not supposed to have just helicopters landing on top of Daily Planet downtown, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll never know, perhaps.
I guess I always assumed that Superman, flew up and grabbed it and flung it up into space.
No,
or
but he's still
something.
wearing his Clark clothes, so I don't think he has
Okay,
that.
so
Yeah.
so maybe he did it fast in his Clark clothes.
Flung it up into space, he would have killed the pilot. I just
Oh yeah, there would be a pilot in there, huh? Okay. I don't know. It's a mystery.
There's a lot of mysteries in this episode. We have
A few.
Holes in a plot? I'm shocked. I don't think so. So the lights go out. Lois yells out, Superman, we're up here. Fuentes says, if I don't make it out here with the money, the whole damn city goes. But here comes Clark. Just as he's about to go save Lois, Jack bursts through the door. Clark's like, what are you doing? To which Jack responds, helping you.
Sweet.
He's so cute.
He wants to help.
I want to be the Robin to your Batman.
Exactly. It's like, come on, man. I could do something.
Clark directs Jack to go back. We get a little shrug from Jack, like he considered it for 0.0002 seconds, and some non-compliance as he follows after Clark anyway. Right as Clark opens the door and Lois turns around and yells, Clark, Fuentes pushes her off the roof and jumps off alongside her. Clark watches her falling, and Jack meets up with him.
He jumped off? I thought he fell too.
He did.
It's a bad fall.
It's a really, they both go off.
Oh,
I don't know if he jumped or if he fell, but they both tumble.
Okay,
I rewound it and watched it again because I thought just Lois went off, but then he's on the scaffolding later.
I remember watching this scene in slow motion. And I was like, oh man, look at that. Look at Terry go. Woo! I mean, I'm sure there was a stunt double involved as she flips upside down, but it was very impressive.
Yeah. So
I'm confused though.
Okay,
go
ahead.
As usual, I'm confused. When they tumble over like the edge, they're already on, okay, this is just logistics here, but they're already on the other side of the building. Did you guys notice that? They're not on the roof, they're on the other side.
What do you mean?
So they don't jump, they just like fall. Like, okay, so here's the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the building. They're on this side of the ledge. They're already like on the other side of the ledge on the outside of the building. So they don't have to like jump and fall. They're already on the other side. So is there a ledge on the other side of, like, I'm confused.
And how tall is the Daily Planet?
I know, it looks like it's 3 stories in real life, or 2 or 3. Not that tall.
It's very tall. I wouldn't want to jump from the planet. Yeah, I don't know. But it's weird. So if you go back and watch that, you see that they're not standing on the roof. They're standing on the outside of the building. There must be a ledge or something there.
Mm-hmm.
But why are they on the outside ledge of the building? It's very weird.
I guess if they're waiting for... I don't know.
I don't know.
Logistics.
Maybe the chopper was going to fly over.
They're going to grab onto the rope and be like, oh, bye.
There's
Mary
one of those
away.
One of those hanging ladders that they just grab.
Exactly. Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know.
Yikes. So they both fall off. They tumble off the side of the planet. Clark watches Lois fall from the edge, and Jack meets up with him and looks down as well. Lois falls onto the scaffolding hanging on the side of the building with Fuentes. And can I just say that thank goodness they both land like cats on their feet?
Yes.
Because if it was me, I'd have a broken leg and a busted face. Fuentes yells, I'm going and I'm taking you all with me. Clark directs Jack to call the police, which he actually does. Thank goodness.
Good job, Jack.
He's not going to be able to call the police, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he does from the lobby. I guess he goes to the lobby and does it. Because the police do show up. So
they do show up because he calls. Lois and Fuentes are fighting, and the scaffolding breaks on one side, and Lois starts to fall again off the side of the building. Now that Jack's out of the way, Clark jumps off the roof and comes to Lois's rescue. Meanwhile, was his suit bundled up in his jeans pocket?
I don't know. It came from somewhere.
I do think, I mean, I could be wrong. There could have been one other, but I feel like this is our first Superman change that is not plausible. Yeah.
He's got that duffel somewhere, but he would have had to get that midair. Is it on the ledge? Or he flies in a window, gets it, and comes back out and catches her.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Dang.
But yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I mean, later on, he learns that power of like spinning and just morphing into whatever, but he hasn't got there yet, so I don't know.
Well, anyway, we get a beautiful scene of Superman floating down with Lois in her pretty black dress in front of the Daily Planet globe. Lois says,
I knew you'd come.
and the scaffolding breaks and Superman catches Fuentes, and Lois catches the activator or whatever that thing is that would have set off the bomb. Superman directs the police, who are just now getting to the scene, thanks Jack, to where the other bad guys are on the planet. Lois then turns to Superman and says,
Other women catch bouquets, I catch bombs.
Superman's like,
I guess that's what makes you so special, Lois.
And it's a cheesy line reading. It's like, it's
Yes.
a sweet line, but the way he says it is like, that's what makes you so special, Lois. And she eats it up, though. It's funny.
She loves it.
She's like, oh, me?
Oh,
Me.
thanks. Superman thinks I'm special.
Exactly.
If that was me, I would think the clone had come back, because that's what he sounds like, but...
And then she goes off on her date with Lex. I'm sorry. You just swooned over Superman.
Well, they're really going to the hospital. I mean, it's not exactly
Okay.
a date, so...
I know, well. Still.
I mean,
I don't
it
like
would be
it.
kind of rude not to, honestly. If you were on a date with somebody and they got shot, you're not going to go with them. She kind of has
Okay.
to.
Okay. Jen's Grinch heart needs to grow just a little bit. It's fine. Superman takes the bomb and flies off. Lex exits the planet and meets up with Lois as they both walk to the ambulance. Lex says that they even got to spend the night together and says, I didn't know you were that kind of girl. Lois glances down at the handcuffs and jokes that she is full of surprises. A wink and a nod. Clark and Jack walk out of the planet as well, and Clark goes, amazing night, and Jack goes, pretty unbelievable. Clark's like, I guess you could say that. Jack responds with,
I mean, if I ever told anybody about it, they'd probably think I was crazy, right?
and he looks at Clark. Clark just says,
Probably.
and Jack goes,
You know, you still owe me a movie.
Clark agrees, and Jack makes his exit. He knows. He totally knows.
For
I feel
sure.
like. What do you guys think?
He for sure knows. Definitely.
Molly, what do you think? He knows?
I always thought he knew.
Yeah,
I
me too.
mean, I don't know if he knows right now, or if he goes home and sleeps on it, and by the morning he's convinced, but it's happening.
I feel like he's starting to look up to Clark, admiring him. He has a newfound respect for him. I think the fact that he is potentially in on this little secret, it makes him feel like, wow, like this is really cool. Which it is. It's very cool.
He's also like, oh, that's why you had the globe in your apartment. Sorry about that.
Makes sense now.
I'm friends with Superman. Lois stands up and walks over to Clark, and Lois says,
I told you Superman wouldn't let us down.
Clark said that he was sure that he always had his eye on them. And Lois jokes that it's times like these that she thinks she should find an easier job and live some cookie cutter lifestyle. They both simultaneously go, nah. And Lois says she's going to ride with Lex. Clark tells her to be careful with Lex and that she doesn't know him like he does.
Does she listen?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
She does not. But she also doesn't question him on, you know him? What?
Yeah. You
Like,
would
why?
think.
Why does he think that he knows Lex more than she does?
Her
when-
best friend.
Hmm.
Ask questions. So Perry and Jimmy are in the interior of the planet now on a workday with people everywhere. There's caution tape. Perry says that the place needed a lift anyway. Lois gets some beautiful pink flowers delivered. She opens the card and it says, Love, Lex. Clark's looking miffed over at his desk. Lois notices. Kat walks in with her zinger and says, Send yourself flowers again, Lois? And then goes, What a weekend. She goes on to explain how she spent most of the weekend in handcuffs. Then she asks what they all did over the weekend. And everyone glances around, and the saxophone plays its little diddly. And Kat goes,
Sorry, I asked.
And that is our show.
All right. You want to hear the things of this episode that bug me? Number 1, why was Clark doing his taxes at the planet? We kind of already talked about that. Number 2, how did Lex and Lois get to the Daily Planet in Lex's town car? Normally, Lex has a driver, a Sabi or someone, and that person would have then been waiting for Lex down below, and maybe, start to worry when Lex doesn't come back. Did they take a taxi? Perhaps we'll never know.
I can't see Lex taking a taxi.
Or driving himself.
No.
Or driving.
Or walking.
Unless we know that Nigel's not going to be back after this for a long time, and Asabi's not going to be back after this for a while. Maybe Lex didn't have anyone to drive him and was like, well, let me get out the
That could be
driver's license.
The only thing I came up with is that maybe they had a driver take them there, and he said that he would call when they were ready to go because he knew Lois had to do some work.
Okay.
But
maybe.
It's clearly been hours and hours and hours.
Yeah. Well, who knows what they're doing? We all know what Kat was walking in planning on doing. Maybe they're just giving him some personal time in another office.
Yeah, remember how Maddie got about them not waking him up at the other one? So maybe there's this whole thing about, like, if I say I'm going up here with Lois, I don't want anyone bugging me.
Yeah.
I will call you when you're needed. Other than that, stay away.
Yes.
All right. Number 3. Why didn't Fuentes and his gang just A, postpone their heist until everyone had left the building, or B, figure out a way to get everyone out? Like, say, they were coming in to spray for bugs or something. They could have posed as exterminators. I don't know. In the movie Die Hard, they were, the bad guys were counting on having hostages so that they could get Mr. Tagaki to give them the pass or whatever. And so they wanted to have hostages to have leverage. But in this, they didn't want the hostages. They had no idea they would even need them. So why do it when they're sitting right there?
Willie could have said, hey, you can't be here, and kicked them out. He probably just knew that that was not going to work. Perry wasn't going to
There
say.
we go, our show. So.
No, yeah.
All right, I also mentioned this earlier. Why was Fuentes parked out in the newsroom throughout most of the episode, even though his cronies thought the vault was on the lower floor? And we already talked about this too. Where was the chopper? The bad guys are expecting it. It was not there. We never know why. And last but not least, again, we already brought this up. What the heck is an Elvis box? And those are my many questions about this episode.
I don't know, and I don't think we're ever going to know what the Elvis box is.
We should make one.
It's a little jewelry box that you open it, and it's like, doo, 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 and Elvis
instead
is
of
like
the
dancing,
ballerina.
like,
Yeah. And it's not that little diddly that we all had that jewelry box growing up. Instead, it's like an Elvis song.
Yeah, hunka burning love. Just hunka burning love.
Someone needs to make this.
And then as it winds down, just a hunger.
Just go slower.
Hunka.
That was
Hunka.
scary. Hunka.
That would be scary. That would be very scary.
Alrighty.
What did you guys think about Jimmy and Perry's accents in the black and white scenes?
Oh.
Jimmy's was horrible. It was horrible. And I think, and Perry's was too, let's be real. But I think it was on purpose, like purposefully bad accents.
My brother just laughed when Jimmy started talking. Like, what are you even doing, mister? And he had a mustache. That might have been what my brother was laughing at, Jimmy's mustache.
In the script also, like I said earlier, there was a lot more about between Clark and Lex and the jealousy thing with Lois. There was a lot of that. And we did see that a little bit with the looks that Clark was giving Lex. But a lot of it was like him trying to protect Lois, or he would see Lex protecting Lois and get jealous, which didn't come across as much in the episode. But I could see why they were going with that, because they really wanted to start something, with the next 2 episodes coming up. Mm-hmm. But it also had a lot more with Jack like finding out things or seeing things, like the hole in the shirt that he was supposed to see. We did see that he looked at the broken cuffs on his arm, like, huh, like how did that happen? But there was also a part where he comes out onto the roof and sees Clark. Clark in the episode tells him to leave, which he does. But in the script, he looks back and sees that Clark is gone. That was not in the episode. So there was a bunch of those little things. Like he saw more things in the script. So he was definitely supposed to know
I
by
feel,
the end of this.
yeah, I think it's nicer that it was left slightly ambiguous though, rather
A
than
little less,
hitting
yeah.
us over the head with it.
Yeah, I agree. And this way they can kind of change their mind if they want to.
I know if they had kept him on, they could have stretched it out if they had wanted to. Maybe made that a ratings, bring in the ratings November sweeps type thing like next season or
Yeah, and I'm kind of glad they didn't. I feel like if you find out Clark is Superman, you're either going to be dead or, unless you're Lois, you're going to die or you're going to go to jail and never be seen again. Like your life isn't going to be great if you find this out. So as much as I wish Jack had come back, if they had, Masoned him, I would be so angry. So angry.
Yes, at least you don't know. You're open
No,
to
no,
interpretation on what happens to
He's
Jack.
off living his best life. He and Denny, or I don't even know.
He's out there somewhere with a really big hunch.
So who do you think ended up with the $30 million? What happens in that kind of thing? Where does it go?
Why do I feel like Lex would have wound up with it?
Oh no.
Like just
like he needs it.
As a
somehow.
Swarmy, like I will figure out a way to make this come to me.
Come to me, my pretty.
Yeah, it'd be like the next morning they go back and all the bags are missing and they're like, whoa, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
And Lex is like,
I don't know.
I just made a phone call. And Asabi came in through a window somewhere and that was that.
And suddenly Lex is now, instead of number 3, number 2, he's number 1.
Wow, if
Except
30
that's
million is
not
all
that
that
much
separates them, yeah.
Yeah, that's
No,
not that much, but take it.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
So, speaking of Lex, I have what the hell was Lex talking about this week? And I just think this is kind of an interesting one. We were talking before about in the Foundling, remember how Clark had all those questions that he said aloud to his parents, and then we said that all of those questions get answered as the show goes on? Well, similarly, Lex, when he is talking to Lois, he's talking about money and the things it can't buy. The 3 things he says money can't buy are all things that Lex can buy and does buy, and or his offspring can buy. Blue skies. We already saw it. Man of Steel bars.
Wait, what was Man of Steel bars?
Because he was able to use the heat wave to make like the heat, and then like it was nice sunny days for months.
Okay, that's right.
He says perfect beach. Jackson Xavier, his virtual reality. Where do they go? A beautiful beach.
The beach.
Right?
Wow.
Brown eyes. Lex has already done it, and he'll do it again when he clones Lois.
Creepy.
It's creepy, but that's where his money goes. So he is absolutely lying through his teeth. He can buy what the ever he wants.
It is true. I mean, I don't like it because it's just awful, but it's true. And it's a very good, valid point. Ew.
Okay, let's move on. Julie, were there any goofs or bloopers in this episode?
Not at all. There was none.
Besides the 18 that I mentioned?
Yes, there were several. Besides the super suit just coming out of nowhere. A few of them. We have the Daily Planet spelled incorrectly. They spell it Dailey on some of the storage boxes. Oh, that's a little one, but I have to mention
Same
it.
people that wrote newspaper.
Same, the same person that wrote that.
The same
Newspaper.
person that misspelled the theater or what?
Entrance.
Entrance. Yep.
Entrance. We have the boom mic showing up a couple times in the black and white scene where Lex is smoking, or whoever Lex is playing in that black and white scene. So you see that above his head a couple times. Is he Dragonetti? Yes. I'm not even gonna. I guess. Okay, I'll mention it. The ventilation cover is not screwed shut. It's not a goof, but it bugs me. It wouldn't be able to just be like "Bloop," coming on out of the vents. So they say that Clark says that the bullet went straight through Lex. But they only care about the entrance wound. What about the exit wound?
Well, he's not losing a lot of blood back there. It's all coming out the front.
And there's no hole in the back of his jacket either. So, and also he doesn't even look to see if there's an exit wound. So how does he know it went through?
Because he has X-ray vision, of course.
I was going to say, unless he X-rayed it and was like, okay, everything's good.
Maybe when he zapped him with his vision, he did the back end first. He went all the way through.
All the way through.
And then
all the way through and closed it.
I always assume, now I guess this doesn't make sense with the angle of the gun, but I always thought it meant it kind of came in, like out like that. But that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope. But he says that it went straight through, and I'm like, well, you don't care about the exit wound, I guess. It's fine. It's just Lex. He'll be all right.
He's been shot like 50 times before.
Yeah.
I mean, considering how he survives, you know what? And he could have 20,000 of wounds. He wouldn't matter.
I was just gonna say, if you've seen what's the Spamalot? No, what's it called? It's just the flesh wound. Have you seen that? Do you know what I'm talking about? It doesn't matter. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Couple other little tiny ones. The guy comes in with a gun and says it's a 9mm automatic. It is not. It looks to be a Glock 17 semi-automatic. Coming from somebody who owns that gun, that's what it looks like to me. It's definitely not an automatic. How did Lois know that Clark was behind her when they were on the roof?
She turned around and
Kryptonian telepathy.
Kind of.
I mean, she kind of turned around a little bit, but she already said his name. So she she sensed his presence. We'll say that.
Well, maybe she heard the door open.
Right. She heard the door open, but how did she know it was him?
Did she say his name before she turned around?
All right, roll the tapes. Roll the tapes.
Totally said it before. And I'm like, but how would she know that's him?
She smelled him coming.
I know.
It's like,
okay. Just saying,
cologne, really
strong.
That's what it is.
Or it was wishful thinking.
Question that I had. At the end, Lois catches the bomb, gives it to Superman, and he says he'll take care of it. How does he take care of it? Up to space it goes.
Space. Yeah. I mean, where else would it go? I don't know. I think
that's where he throws everything. I mean,
yeah.
Maybe he was taking it to a bomb specialist person.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Now, Jen, since this was in fact a bottle episode, I don't even know why I'm asking, but for tradition's sake, were there any dogs, cats, or other animals in this episode?
Nope.
Well,
none.
It's okay.
Right. Our acronym of the week this week is LAFF. LAFF stands for Los Angeles Folk Fest. The LA Folk Fest was an event organized by the Folks where fans of LNC from all over came together to share their love of the show. The first one was held in August 1995, and I believe they continued into the early 2000s. We plan on doing a deeper dive of these events in a future episode, So listeners, if you attended any of the folk fests, we'd love to hear from you. And please hit us up on our Instagram or via our website.
Yeah, but I'm expecting my cheese of the month shipment. I'll be right back.
I was just going to ask, Jen, what is your choice for the most bonkers excuse Clark makes in this episode?
Well, it's between two.
Okay.
Because there were a number, but I wrote down, okay, out of the three. Okay. So Clark zooms up the stairs at super speed. Jack goes, "What do you do? Fly up here?" And Clark's response is, "I was trying to not make any noise. Come on." And then the hallway altercation in front of Jack. Jack comes down with a bewildered look and asks Clark why Jack wasn't shot. Clark's response was believable, and he just said he missed. I feel like that one is probably the more like important one. So I'm gonna go with that one. He said he just missed, but he said it with confidence. I liked that one. I thought it was actually a good excuse. It wasn't bonkers, but it was a lie. He didn't miss. He totally got shot.
Tangentially, like, I know this doesn't probably count because he hasn't really, I don't know, the one where he, saves Lex with the orange and the tea and everything like that, and kind of, but I don't really see how it works that he made an excuse there.
He didn't have to. I mean, yeah, I guess he did. He saved his life, but no one was
like,
on
Clark, how did you do that? No, he's just like, I just told you how I did it.
Like,
the orange and the tea and all the things.
Yeah. I mean,
he
learned
it in
too.
Yeah.
Then he
he'd be
learned it in
I
like
learned
Borneo.
Bornean medicine man.
Yeah.
Maybe that that's kind of good too. But I like yours. I would have picked yours. Yeah.
I don't think that was a real thing. I think he was just making something up.
Oh, heck yeah.
When I was a kid, though,
for sure.
I thought, well, his explanations sound like the tannins from this and the I was like, wow, that sounds really cool. I wonder if it's an actual thing. And maybe it helped. Maybe he zapped it, and maybe this combination helped.
No, I think he was thinking, "Oh, this orange juice is gonna burn." That's what he was thinking. And like, "Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna do it twice."
Superman won't kill, but he will slightly maim his enemies.
Juice and spit.
Gross.
Got infected after that.
Right.
It could have been worse. Could have been like that Friends episode where pee on someone.
He didn't go there. Lois used the restroom like a lady. All right, so I have a whole bunch of real life stuff in this episode. Here we go. Gerald Ford was mentioned. That's the 38th president of the United States, born in 1913, died in 2006. I believe he's the third president that has been mentioned on the show so far, but he won't be the last. Perry's line of Gerald Ford tripped over that is a nod to the fact that Ford had several incidents of falling down stairs and having other little accidents. Oh. Super Bowl 20 was mentioned by Perry. It was played against the Chicago Bears, who at this point aren't known very well for winning Super Bowls, but back then they did win that Super Bowl against the New England Patriots. Madame Butterfly is the opera Lois and Lex are supposed to be attending. It was written in 1904 by Giacomo Puccini. And if you can stick a pin in that for the next 3 years, you will be handsomely rewarded.
Yeah.
Of course, Elvira was a very important part of this episode. Elvira, aka Cassandra Peterson, born in 1951. She appeared as the character Elvira in a TV series in the mid-'80s, Elvira's Movie Macabre, in which she presented old horror and sci-fi movies. The show ran in the LA area, so I doubt Perry would have watched that, but he could have seen the 1988 movie or gotten hold of one of the VHS tapes released in the early 90s. The only thing is, there doesn't seem to have ever been an actual Godzilla episode. There was one with Gamera, though. But maybe in their universe there was, They got kids in space. They could have Godzilla on the Elvira show. And, of course, another mention of Godzilla. He's back. We got him back in Never-Ending Battle. Of course, we got another mention of Elvis. Nothing new there. Jack brings up the Exxon Valdez, which was an oil tanker that struck a reef in a remote part of Alaska in 1989. It made a huge oil spill, terrible ecological disaster. Lois mentions those guys in the Baghdad hotel. So Baghdad is the capital of Iraq, and during the Gulf War, several reporters from CNN were in Baghdad at the Al Rashid Hotel on January 17th, 1991, when Baghdad was bombed, and they were able to broadcast live footage and commentary of the events, and those guys were Bernard Shaw, John Holliman, and Peter Arnett. We got another mention of Borneo, a callback to the time Clark spent there before coming to Metropolis. Perry mentions Geraldo, referring to the 2-hour 1986 TV special in which Geraldo Rivera teased that they were going to open Al Capone's vault on air, and 30 million people tuned in, but the vault was empty. The event is now synonymous with overhyped events that are ultimately disappointing. We got lots of nods to the movie Die Hard, including, but not limited to, the bad guys cutting off the phone lines, someone setting off the sprinkler system or pulling a fire alarm in the hopes of summoning help, which does not pan out. Someone crawling through ductwork. Bad guys taking hostages up to the roof of the building. The bad guys having a chopper, or supposed to be having a chopper. We never got to see ours, but hey.
That costs too much.
We also have the main character's love interest being taken as a singular hostage, and we've got people falling from great heights. And I was trying to think if there's like a, which character is supposed to be, I mean, not that it goes perfectly, but there are a few. Clark is, of course, John McClane, but Jimmy does share in that a little with his crawling around in the vents. Lois is definitely Holly. And Lex is most certainly Ellis, trying to negotiate his way out of things and then getting shot. Fuentes.
Yay.
Sorry, Fuentes, you are Hans Gruber light. Sadly, we don't have a Sergeant Powell here. Sorry, Dad from Family Matters. Oh, one more thing. We saw both Perry and Jack playing a Nintendo Game Boy. This is the second time we've seen one being played at the Daily Planet. And those are my real life references, and I am out of breath.
I was trying to figure out what game they were playing.
Oh, yeah. Bleep, bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop. Yeah, because you couldn't see usually you could see the sticker on the back of the disc or the cartridge, and they took it off for the scene, but
you could see something, but I couldn't tell. I tried.
Yeah. Probably they would have.
I want to know.
Yeah. All right, it is now come. It is the time where we rate the episode on a scale from A+ to F-. Julie, how do you rate Fly Hard?
I have always really enjoyed this episode. There's something really cool about the fact that, with Lex and all of his money and power, he's unable to really negotiate his way out of the problems. And then you have Superman, on the other hand, who's got all of those abilities, and he can't figure out how to get out of the situation and fix the problem and protect them. So there's this little quiet struggle within himself on how to protect everyone while protecting himself from revealing his identity because, he doesn't want to do that. I've always liked the idea of Clark possibly having a friend he can rely on, and that kind of comes in with Jack possibly finding out the identity. I wish that was kind of further explored, but it left me really excited for episodes to come. And for those reasons, and the iconic Superman flying Lois down in front of the planet globe, and obviously the black and white kiss that we got between Bill and Lily, our Dean and Terry, I give this one a B+.
Well, for me, this is an exciting episode overall. It's different from anything we've seen so far. It's cool watching Clark essentially have to be Superman without being able to be in the suit and be open about it. And you feel his frustration when the others don't listen to him and kind of laugh him off, when Lois is like, Clark, you're not Superman. Oh, take it easy. And it's definitely satisfying when he's able to close Lex's bullet wound and also take down the baddie in the stairwell and disarm Remy at the end. There are a few plot holes for sure, but if I allow myself to not get too hung up on those, I can still enjoy the episode, and for me, it's a solid B.
So I thought this was a solid episode. There wasn't too much about the bad guys. Most of the scenes involved the people that I care about most. And there was more Clark content than Superman content. And to be clear, I like Clark more than I like Superman. There, I said it. I know that's probably controversial, but whatever.
Nope, definitely not.
I personally don't mind the black and white flashbacks. I thought they were great. I thought the black and white flashbacks, there's something artsy about it, and I liked seeing my characters that way. It just thought it was kind of fun, and it brought a little bit of whimsy to the show. The cat part of this episode was hilarious. Jack is just the best, and then Clark in that tight-fitting tee is kind of my favorite. The only part I don't care for is that now we're in the Lois is officially dating Lex portion of the season. And I know we have to wade through this, but also, yuck, man. So overall, I fully enjoyed it. It's a strong episode. And I love that Jack, I think, knows Clark's secret now. And I gave it a B+.
Hey, we're all pretty much on the same line.
All right, today we are talking about something related to this episode, and that is, this is the last time we see our beloved Cat Grant. She is mentioned briefly in a couple of episodes, but we never lay eyes on her again. So we thought it would be fun to talk a little bit about Cat Grant in the comics. Well, when looking into this, I had a mind-blown moment. And maybe you will know the answer to this question. But we've had Clark, Lois, Jimmy, Perry, Lex, Martha, Jonathan, all established characters for decades. When do you think Cat Grant first entered the DC Comics universe? Guess a year.
I'm not going to guess because I know.
You already
so
know.
Go for it, Jen.
What do you think, Jen? Or a decade. Just throw out a decade.
The 70s.
Not bad. That's what I was thinking. No. 1987. Cat Grant is younger than us. And this was only 5 years before Deborah Joy Levine started writing the pilot. Cat Grant was a very new character. And in fact, Tracy Scoggins, I do believe, is the first person to ever portray her on screen. We've had Callista Flockhart later on in Supergirl. We have someone in the Superman universe that's just come out now, the James Gunn universe. And I think she was on Smallville. I want to say maybe she appeared on there. But our Cat Grant, first one.
Was there never a cat in any of the Superman movies?
No, because those predated 1987. I mean, I think the Superman 4 was 1987, but they would have not merged. And and she wasn't on Superboy. And that was the only one between 1987 and ours, I believe.
Yeah, I do believe Tracy was the first actual live Cat Grant.
So in the comics, she appeared in January 1987 in The Adventures of Superman number 424. The character started off in Los Angeles before she moved to Metropolis. She was a syndicated gossip columnist. She had been married to a man named Joe Morgan, and they had a son named Adam, and they had just gotten divorced when she came to Metropolis and got a job. And interestingly, this was another thing that blew my mind, she became friends with Clark really soon after coming to Metropolis, and they even dated. And I was like, what? He didn't push her away. And apparently she was pretty, I don't want to say conservative, but she was not at all at first like our Cat Grant. She was she had the son. She was a good worker. She was obviously friends with Clark, and this was all great. Oh, also, she was on the scene when the Doomsday Battle happened, and she was reporting on the scene when Superman, R.I.P. But then a very sad thing happened. Toyman had made a robot. The robot kidnapped Cat's son along with some other kids and unalived them. and Kat was so distraught. She turned back to alcohol and other things that she had, tried to get past in her past. And afterwards, she came back. She got a job at the Daily Planet again in the entertainment and arts section. But from that point forward, she was a lot more flirtatious and just out there like our Kat more like. So
Like
our
ours.
Kat is definitely like the post-death of her son version in the comics. I also saw somebody say that she, at some point, was the press secretary for Lex Luthor when he was the president of the United States. I'm like, okay. But, a lot of people commented on how, Kat, since that whole thing, has just had very inconsistent characterization. Sometimes she acts like a, normal human being. Sometimes she's like this sex up acting all whack. Obviously, she and Clark did not end up together in the comics, even though they dated, because of course he loves Lois and they did get married. And those were the facts that I was able to find on Kat Grant.
Wow. Interesting.
I'm really happy that Kat was a part of the series, even though it didn't last, because another female was definitely needed on the show, or appreciated anyway. And just another person at the Daily Planet. It feels kind of bare bones there in season 2 and 3 with just Jimmy and Perry.
Yeah, for sure.
I know that they try to bring in like Ralph later, but he's awful. So
yeah, he's not good. And I just like having more of a female presence in a real life scenario. There are going to be more females in a workspace. And I feel like a lot of the viewers were women, and I think as women, we want to see versions of ourselves on screen. So it's appreciated when we can see different characters that we can relate to. Other than Lois. I think Lois was a strong character, but...
yeah, there are like times during later seasons where they try. We get Sarah, and then we get Star, and then suddenly they're gone. It's fine. But, and then Mason, but... Have you read any comics with Kat? Do you remember any details that stuck out to you, Jules?
I actually don't remember a whole lot about Kat from any of the comics that I have. And I haven't read that much lately, sadly. I never have time anymore. But I do remember her in the Doomsday one, because that's when I really started getting into comics, is when the whole Doomsday thing happened. But I do remember her being a reporter. Like, I think she was a TV reporter at that point, and reporting on it, not a journalist, like newspaper.
That sounds right. Yeah. Yeah. She's in some of the comics in that Lois and Clark book that we have mentioned on our thing. I was looking for that earlier. I could not find it, but I remember she does not look like our Kat. Our Kat has kind of like the light brown, reddish hair, and she has more of like a blonde look. In fact, have you either of you watched the trailer for the Supergirl movie? Because I have not watched it yet. Oh, you both you watched it?
I have watched it.
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay.
Was there a Kat in Superman? I can't remember.
There was
briefly. She's blonde and she has like glasses.
Oh,
she wasn't in it very much, but I would assume that she'll be in it more, probably in a sequel. Because there were a lot of characters that they introduced, but they didn't really do a whole lot with. But yeah, she was blonde.
Well, Kat, we love you. We will miss you. Hope you and George are very happy together wherever you are. Perhaps we will compile our list of best Kat moments or something to say goodbye for real. But thank you so much for joining us today. If you're watching the show alongside us, our next episode will be Season 1, Episode 20, Barbarians at the Planet.
You can find us on Instagram or Blue Sky as Folks Forever. That's FOLCSFOREVER. Or you can visit our website at folksforeverpod.wixsite.com/podcast. And until next time, please enjoy this bonkers little ditty.
Saturday night, Should've stayed on the couch with my hand model, just a favor in and out. Perry's got boxes, stacks up to the sky. Old cutouts and beer hats, oh my. Now we're hostages at the planet, hands up under fluorescent glare, all because we cleaned an office on a weekend we shouldn't be there. They came hunting for an old vault, and we were just caught in the light. Hostages at the planet on a nothing Saturday night. Elevator dings, doors part, then they shout. Holding guns, Jimmy feels his heart drum and starts to run, run, run. Now we're hostages at the planet, hands up under fluorescent glare, all because we cleaned an office on a weekend we shouldn't be there. They came hunting for an old vault, and we were just caught in the light. Hostages at the planet on a nothing Saturday night. Elevator dings, doors part, then they shout. Holding guns, Jimmy feels his heart drum and starts to run, run, run. Now we're hostages at the planet, hands up under fluorescent glare, all because we cleaned an office on a weekend we shouldn't be there. They came hunting for an old vault, and we were just caught in the light. Hostages at the planet on a nothing Saturday night. On a nothing Saturday